How can you stay away from Wall Street?
Well, if I were on Wall Street, I'd probably be a lot poorer. You get overstimulated in Wall Street, and you hear lots of things, and you may shorten your focus, and a short focus is not conducive to long profits. And the less static there is in that intellectual process, really, the better off you are.
Warren Buffett just revealed one of the biggest pitfalls that investors make that they don't even know that they're making. To be successful in the market, you really got to cut out the noise, just like Buffett was saying. And that's not only an important concept for investing, but it's important for life in general, really. Now, of course, it's way easier said than done, and Buffett doesn't exactly explain how to do it. So I'm going to show you how to go about it in this video so you can make sure that you're growing your wealth successfully in the stock market, just like Buffett did. Now, that interview just now was from the 80s. If you could tell, the quality was not good, and Buffett was a lot younger. But the funny thing is that he was talking about noise back then. And this was Gordon Gekko, Bud Fox times, right? So Wall Street was hot. So there was stock picks, there was insider trading, there was corporate takeovers, it was like the movie. But back then, to even pick up the phone and give someone a hot stock tip, you had to be working out with that brick of a dumbbell looking phone, which is nothing compared to the phones that we have now. And I'm not just saying that to compare technology to the 80s. That's stupid. But the point is if Buffett was talking about noise and distractions back in the 80s, think about what we got to deal with now. We have the internet, which is the best and the worst thing at the same time. So you would think, okay, the positive side of the internet, especially for investing, is that you have unlimited research and information, and you could place trades off your phone, off Robinhood, all these great things. But in reality, while those things are great, it comes with a lot of problems, and it comes with the noise that Buffett was just talking about. Because now you're just hit with so much news all over social media and otherwise. Your feed is just constantly full of SPAC. And it's all a bunch of BS information that you don't actually need. So it distracts you and confuses you and makes you lose focus, which is the one thing you don't want when you're investing. Even all these stupid finance YouTube videos, even the ones that I make, the ones that say, oh, 20x opportunity, triple your money fast. Oh, buy this SPAC. This stock is so amazing that I just sold my left kidney to buy more shares. Just stock pick after stock pick after stock pick in all these videos. It's so stupid. Now, like I said, I make those videos too because it's what YouTube wants, but in reality, it's terrible investing. And I'm not even saying that the stock picks themselves are bad. They're good companies. They come from our research firm where we do all that work to pick the best ones out of thousands. But what I'm saying is that this constant need for stock picks in general, it's all noise. It's what Buffett says you should not be doing. It's extremely easy when you're investing to fall victim to shiny object syndrome, where it's always just the next thing. Ooh, what's that? That's cool. Let me get inside of that. Sorry, I don't mean get inside of it. I mean, get in it, as in buy it. It's basically like a laser pointer and a cat, and you know how cats act, and that's basically us with these stupid stock picks and all this noise. And I hate cats, but I love just kidding. And the problem with investing in this way and taking in all this noise is that it amplifies all the bad emotions that you get in investing that you're trying to stay away from. One in particular that you need to avoid is FOMO, the fear of missing out. But that's exactly what happens every time you see a new stock that you think is way better than your previous stock. You're like, oh, I gotta get in it. And this is how you end up looking at every stock. You can't handle yourself. Tyrone Biomes, just buying everything. And the thing is that there are thousands of stocks. So these videos and these articles, whatever you're looking at, they're going to keep coming forever. And they have come forever. There have been decades of these newsletters and everything talking about stocks, and really what it is, the smart investors know, is that it's noise. But the more you look at it and the more you feed into it, the more you're going to think, oh, that stock is better. You're always going to think the grass is greener. But you got to remember that at the end of the day, it's just grass, and it's not even the kind you can smoke. So what's the point? You got to avoid being overstimulated in the stock market because it just leads to disaster. And the truth about these stock picks in particular is that they are only 10% of successful investing. The other 90%, well, that's how you actually cut out all this noise. And I'm going to explain to you how to do that right now. So the way you cut out that noise, like Buffett is talking about, and make sure you're not overstimulated and that you're focused, is by shutting everything else out and just focusing on your actual investment strategy. And your actual strategy is what 90% of successful investing actually is, not following these noisy stock picks. The The best investors cut everything out, all this BS news that's just noise, all these stock picks, and what they do is just focus down on their process, laser focus. And we're talking about investing here, but this is what any high performer does. And your investment strategy includes everything, like how much are you investing? So your position sizes. When are you actually buying a stock? When is the right time to get in? Then once again, when is the right time to get out? You got to know when to sell. And most of all, and all of this actually goes into it, you got to know how to control your risk. It's the most important thing in investing. It's not about finding that next winner. It's because how you manage the stock is going to contribute way more to your returns than the best stock being picked. Because most people, even if they pick the best stock, they mismanage it. So that management and that risk control and that looking out for your downside, that's how you're successful in the stock market. And when you really start focusing on your investment process and strategy, that's when you aren't affected by the noise anymore. You're focused on the right thing. So you're probably asking then, AK, why do you even make these stock pick videos? Well, the stock pick videos in themselves are not bad. It's just how they're used that's bad. Like I said, all this research comes from our research firm. And over there, our clients are professionals. So institutions, hedge funds, people managing millions and even to billions of dollars. And our research ends up being one of the few resources they use because they're paying us to cut through the noise and give them what actually matters. That's our service. That's how we make money, apart from the stock market anyway. But the way those clients use that research is very different than how most people on YouTube would use it, because they're taking it and they're putting it into their strategy. They're seeing if it fits. It's just idea generation. But the problem with newer people in the stock market, amateurs, is that they end up buying every single little thing, not thinking about strategy at all. So the reason I make those videos, again, it's good research first of all, but I also just need to meet people where they're at in their journey, because this is the same place where I started, jumping after stock picks, listening to noise. But then eventually, I transitioned. I became mature. My investing balls dropped and I stopped playing around with those childish games and I focused in on my strategy. So I'm not trying to make fun of anyone's just starting out, because this is the process. But if I can meet you there and then rant about strategies like I do in every video, if you've been following along, well then we're eventually going to be in good shape. So when I had this realization, right, what Buffett is talking about, cut out the noise, cut out the stock picks, focus on your strategy, then everything just became way easier. So my current strategy, which you've heard me talk about, it's the Fallible strategy that a lot of our Fallible members use as well. It takes less than 20 minutes a month for me. I barely look at the markets apart from these videos that we make and the specific research that I do for them. But I'm not sitting on the computer all day or my phone tracking markets, because there's no need. And no one wants to do that. No one has time, especially if you got a real job. You got to work. Or even if you're not working, why wouldn't you just relax? Nothing good comes from staring at the screen all day. So with this strategy, we focused on the process so hard that we didn't need research anymore, because our strategy is a quantitative strategy, so it cuts out all of the research and it enters trades based off an algorithm that has been tested and works in every market regime. So whatever the environment is and however the market is changing, we know we're protected and we can make money. Now, like I said, most of you know the strategy I'm talking about. You're probably using it too, but it's our Fallible momentum strategy. And you can see right here how it works. Our TSI scanner right here takes the stocks in the NASDAQ and ranks them by their momentum. And this is the algorithm right here that spits out this number. This is what we call the TSI number. And the idea is the higher the number, the more momentum a specific stock has. And what's the idea behind momentum? Well, if a stock has momentum, if it's going up, it should continue to go up. So every month, all we're doing is rotating into these top 5 stocks that have the highest momentum. And then we keep it real easy because we have trade alerts that come to our phone and email that tells us when we need to get in or get out of a particular position. And this year we're up almost 60% with incredible risk control. It's just so streamlined. And yeah, at this point, it's really easy to use the system, but building the system, that wasn't easy. That's why we had to take all our focus and really think about it and really test it over the years. And this thing has actually been built over 3 decades. And it's not just me, it's our entire team. And we've got guys who have worked in the business for the last 40 years even. But the only way you can make something so simple and so effective is, again, focusing down on your strategy and your process. So I told you the simple version right here, right? It is pretty simple to execute, but the main theme is, rotate into the 5 stocks with the highest momentum. But along with that, we got exact rules of how much to invest in each position, when to buy it, when to sell it, all based off rules. Again, it's a quantitative system. So when you have all those rules and you have it all tested, you know that it works and it's a solid concept like momentum, then there you go. You just cut out all the research that you have to do. You don't even have to look at the market. There's no more noise. And yes, of course, momentum is completely different than what Buffett would do, but he does a similar thing. He just focuses down on his process. He knows what he's looking for when he's researching specific companies. So he's not all over the place reading all this news and stuff. Does he read all day? Yeah, he absolutely does. But again, it's more focused on his process or executing that process. And that's how every successful investor, regardless of what their specific strategy is, that's how they go through, and that's how they're successful. That's how they keep making money year after year. And with that fallible strategy, that's really all I do, and all the noise is gone. Like, I don't watch the news. People will be like, hey, AK, did you see that? And I say, no, I didn't see it, and I don't care. Stop talking to me. Lose my number. I'm only focused on my money, and all that noise doesn't make me money, so stop telling me about it. Just my strategy and my system, and that's it. And I'm way happier in life than I used to be when I was caught up in all the noise, and way more profitable, so it works out. And of course, as always, if you want to learn the details of the strategy that we use, myself and most of our Fallible members, so that way you can use it yourself, well, we got this free training to show you exactly step by step how to do it. So you can check out that training. I'm going to put a link to it right here. It's going to teach you how to use a system to cut out that noise and consistently grow your profits, just like Buffett is talking about. So click this link right here, and I will see you in that training.